All right, kindergartens, we've had a lot of time this year to experiment with mixing colors and patterns. Now that we're halfway through kindergarten, we're ready to challenge ourselves by taking our time with painting and thinking more about what we paint and how we paint. We can paint many different things. Remember that artists are inspired by what they see, feel, and remember. I'm going to start by putting my name and class code on the backside of my paper. Flip your paper over and decide which way you want your painting to go. So if you're drawing something tall and skinny like a tree, maybe it's a good idea to flip your paper like this. If you're drawing a landscape or a painting of a forest or a house, maybe you want your horizon line to go here, and then you can draw like a cityscape or some trees over here to fill in your image. You don't have to sketch your painting before you paint it. I just lightly did so that we have an idea of what to paint. Remember that there are more than one palette. So there's this palette, but you can also find these ones where your paints are. So I'm going to start by wetting my brush and getting some green to fill in the grass here. And I'm just taking really big strokes to go back and forth. And if you don't use too much water, it will dry pretty fast, and that will help us overlayer color or overlap color. So I'm going to take some of this one and paint this brighter green on top of the dull green. For smaller details like filling in this tree, you might want to switch brushes. So now would be a good time to start taking care of those brushes and trying them out. All grades do use these smaller brushes, so make sure that we're being really gentle with the bristles and not stabbing the paint. Okay. I think I'm going to use some of this brown here for the tree trunk. If you use less water, your color is going to be brighter and darker. If you use more water, your color is going to be thinner and duller. So that's up to you again to play around with the materials that are given to make your artist choices. See how I'm using the small brush to get into the small details. And when you are figuring out what subject or what thing you want to paint, it helps to break them down into shapes. So I made a square for your house and then a triangle top. So I used a little water to get this softer red. Or a lot of water. Don't forget to fill in the background, so you can use a wide, large brush to fill in that background. And once you let this dry, you can add more details like birds or clouds or planes. And you might need to switch to a smaller brush to get in to these details here. Yeah, those are just some strategies to help you paint a little bit more carefully and thoughtfully, thinking about what you're creating and how you're painting.